Hi, welcome to my new unit on Polynomials 2. And the first video to start this unit is adding polynomials. We already did a video on polynomials, or videos on polynomial 1, and that was monomials and degrees and descending orders. So let's do another unit, extension of polynomials, and take it on to the end. Adding polynomials. When adding polynomials, follow the steps. Remove the brackets, group the like terms, and add like terms. And we group the like terms, and that is, by grouping like terms, we do not change the signs. Just remind you of that. Do not change the signs. Here we go. Examples. We're going to simplify each of these. So we're adding these to, this is a trinomial, so we'll remove the terms. We're adding on this one, so notice I removed the brackets. I'm grouping the like terms, so I got an x squared, and a positive 2x squared goes with that one. I have a 3x, and I have a negative x, and then I have a plus 1 and a plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them. And I have them grouped. So that's a 1 plus 2 is 3x squared. 3 subtract 1 is 2, and that's 2x. 1 plus 4 is 5. And second one, let's remove the brackets, because when you add, you don't, by adding this on, you're not changing anything at all. You're not changing the trinomial on the inside. Group your like terms. We got 4x cubed. Do we have another x cubed? Nope. And then we go with descending order. So we'll take a square next. So that one is done, and that one is done. Then we have an x, 4x, and a negative 6x, and a negative 7, and a negative 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them. And we have no more x cubes, so leave that alone. And we have no more x squareds, so we'll leave that alone. We have a 4 subtract 6 is negative 2. Negative 7, negative 1 is negative 8. So notice we have 4 terms. And C, we have, let's remove the bracket. Okay, here we go. And again, when you remove the bracket, you do not change your signs. You just remove the bracket and write it down again. So it's that trinomial and this polynomial we're adding together. Now we group terms. Do we have any a? That's an a squared b. Do we have any more a squared b? Yes, we got this one. So let's scratch them out to make sure. So that's negative 6a squared b. Then we have an ab cubed. Do we have, well, we have another one right here, so let's group that alongside. That's done. And we have we could do the AB first, or we could do 9, it makes no difference. Do 9 and then the 7, they're alike. And the AB is all by itself, because they're not like any of these. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we add the like terms, so a squared b is the like term to this one. That's a 1 minus 6 is negative 5. And we got an a b cubed, so that's 2 terms the same, so that's a 1 plus 1 is 2. And negative 9, or subtract 9 plus 7 is negative 2, or subtract 2. And ab is all by itself. Now I could have put the AB here and put the 2 over there, but it really doesn't make any difference when you have double variables doing the order. And number D, simplify and express in descending order. I always write, if I have single variables, like all X's or all A's or all Y's, I always write it in descending order. It's a good habit to do. Now I got 3 brackets, so let's remove the brackets. Okay, here we go. Let me just write them down. Because when you're adding, you do not change. You leave that stay as a plus and a minus. Because you're adding, you let the 4x minus 6 stay. Now that I have the brackets removed, I will group the like terms. So I got a 6x squared and a plus x squared. They're done. Then I have a 5x and a plus 4x. They're done. And I got a minus 8 and a minus 6. Terms are grouped. That's a 1. So 6 plus 1 is 7x squared. 5 plus 4 is 9, so it's 9x. And that's a subtract 6, subtract 8, subtract 6. We do plus negatives if you want, just for a second. Okay, let's do it. So notice I had a subtract 8 and a subtract 6. So that's the same as negative 8 and negative 6. So it's a negative 14 or plus negative 14, your choice. Let's continue. Practice. Practice means pause the video, work all these out, and play it back to see if you got the right answers. It's a self-check. It's the way that I design my videos to give you a chance to work out to see what you're doing. Remove the brackets. There we go. Because I'm adding, I do not change. That's an 8x squared plus a 4y plus 10. I don't change the signs in this bracket. When I'm now group the like terms, I have an x squared y. Do I have any more x? Oh, I left off the y there. No, sorry. I have an 8x squared y right there. So I almost left off that y. Just be careful. And now I have a y plus y. And a term like that is a plus 4y. I have a negative 6 plus 10, or subtract 6, whatever you want to call it. The like terms are x squared y, and that's a 1 plus 8 is 9. I have 1y and 4y, that's a 1. 1y and 4y is 5y. And negative 6 plus 10 is plus 4, or subtract 6 plus 10 is plus 4. Number 2, remove the brackets. Okay, let's write down the first one. We're adding on this polynomial here, 4 terms, but remember that's a plus, so we do not change the signs when we're adding. The signs will stay as is. Now we'll group the like terms. We got an a cubed. Do we have any more a cubes? Yes, plus 8a cubed. Done. We have a minus a. Do we have any more a's? 6a, yep. They're done. We have a 4b. Do we have any more b's? Yes, plus b. They're done. And we got a plus 7 and a subtract 9. So now we got 4, 8, 4, 8. Got them all. That's a 1 there, so that's a 9 when we add. And that's negative a plus 6 is plus 5a. 4 plus 1, that's a 1 there, is 5b. And 7 subtract 9 is subtract 2, or negative 2. Number 3, again, let's write down first trinomial, done. When we add, we don't change the signs. And the double negative, we make it positive though, make it easier. Double negative is a positive, so if you do that, helps out, makes it easier. All double negatives you should change before you start, if you can, if you wish. I didn't, only thing I changed the double negative here, so I didn't, that's a negative, that's a positive, that's a positive, everything's great. Like terms, I got an x squared, I got another x squared, I got a 12x, and I got a 3x, that's a negative 4, and that's a positive 1. Terms are grouped. Negative 11, subtract 1, that's a negative 12. That's a plus a negative, so same thing. And 12 plus 3 is 15. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3, or subtract 3. And number 4, simplify and place in descending order. Well, I always place them in descending order, and I just wrote it down to let you know. Here we go. We're adding. Notice we're adding 3 sets, so we'll remember, write them down, but don't change the signs. When you're adding, you do not change what's on the inside. We're adding, so we do not change these. So that's, you can leave that, stay in negative like that if you want. Plus x minus 4. Now that we have them all done, now group descending order. So let's go with the highest degree here is 3, so x cubed. And we have another x cubed right there. We're done. Now next degree is, that's 3, so we need a 2, so that's negative 2x squared. Do we have it? Oh, we have a 5x squared there. And we have no more x squared, so they're gone. And we have an 8x and a plus x. And we have a minus 3 minus 4. So we have 2 x's and a, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have them all. Notice I have a x cubes, then I got x squareds, then I have x's, and then I have my constant terms. Constant terms, remember a constant term of negative 3 is understood to be x to the 0. So that's why these constant terms are on the end, because it's x to the 0. And x to the 0 is a 1, and a negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, just to explain why the constant is on the end. A positive 1 subtract 1 is 0, so they're gone out. And I got a negative 2 plus 5 is 3x squared. 8 plus 1, that's a 1, that gives you 9x. And subtract 3, subtract 4, subtract 7, or negative 7. B, write down the terms. That's easy. Written down. When you add, you don't change, so that's a positive 4. Notice that's understood to be a plus, because there's not, I'm going to say it's not, you don't see a negative, so it's got to be a plus. So that's written down, not changed. And the like terms, let's add up my like terms. Oh, sorry, let's group my like terms, what am I saying? And the highest degree here is 4, so we'll put the x to the 4 first. Any more x to the 4s? Nope. Then we'll do x cubes next. So it's that one and that one. You're done. No more x cubed, then I'll do x squareds. So I have 1x squared right there. That's done. I got x to the 4, x cubed, x squareds, and I have to do the x's. So plus 2x, plus x. They're done. No more x's, and I got to subtract 4, subtract 1. And that's done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, right? No more x to the 4th, leave it alone. And 1 plus 4 is 5. That's a 1 there. And that's a 1 understood, so 1 plus 2 is 3. Ooh, I can't add them. That's kind of, because that's cubed, that's squared. So he's all, I don't have that, I can't combine that because that's a square. So I'm going to make that just an x like that, sorry, and square. So these are the ones combined. 2 plus 1 is 3. And subtract 4, subtract 1 is subtract 5. So be careful. Sometimes if you make a mistake, then, you know, you made a mistake. It's just one of those things you do, like I do sometimes. So check. I got 4th powers, the cubes. Cubes are added. There's no more squares, so I just leave the x squared by itself. Add the x's and add the numbers. Done. Okay. And page 4. We got it done. Now, this is also, you can work on it as a practice. Let's write the word practice here. This is still a practice. It means you can pause the video and work these out if you wish. Questions are designed a little bit different, but find the sum of these 3. That's a binomial, a binomial, a binomial. So sum, we know what sum means. We should know. The sum means add them together. So that's a 2x minus 6 add on, negative x, 9x minus 3, add on, 4x minus 2. So sum means I'm going to add them together. And when I get that done, I got to remove the brackets. And as you can see, you could have, okay, I have it done. You could have taken them right here and did this. You could have done a 2x and then took the negative 9x and took the plus 4x. You could, knowing that you're going to do this, the sum of these, add them up. You could have taken the first one and put the x there, taken the negative 9 and put it there, take the 4 and put it there without writing this step in. But I'm only showing you that you're adding these together as in the same we did on the previous page. But this is already done on the previous page, so we just removed the brackets. And you could have taken the plus 6 and the minus 3 and the minus 2, and you could have avoided this if you wish to shorten it up. But we pick up the like terms here. 2x goes there, negative 9x goes there, and 4x goes there because they're like terms going together. Negative 6, oops, that's a plus 6. You got to be careful. See, checking it out. That's 2x plus 6. You got to be very careful writing these down because you could make a mistake and you would get the wrong answer to that mistake. So be careful. So that's a plus 6. And add these up. 2 subtract 9, negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. And 6 subtract 3, subtract 2 is plus 1. So just be careful when you're adding these. Again, I've got to be careful myself. I always make a mistake most times. I will not get 100% because I make what I call a mental error, a slip. Find the sum and evaluate. Sum means I'm going to add all these up. So if you want, I could put all these down like that. So put all of them inside these brackets. And then I could group my like terms. So I will do that. But when you know you're going to put them all down like this and put them in brackets. Okay, I have them all in brackets. Now I'm going to remove the brackets. When I remove the brackets, when you add, you don't change the signs. And you don't change the signs, x squared minus 8x minus 11. So now I'm going to group my like terms, which is x squared plus 2x squared and a plus x squared. Then I'm going to group x's, 6x minus x minus 8x. And then I have a plus 1, plus 4, minus 11. Again, I could have taken all of these and took them one by one and put x squared there, 2x squared right there, and x squared there. That would be descending order right away without going through all this, your choice. Then D with the 6x, negative x. So you take them out of here and move them here in descending order. When you do that, then you want to add up these terms. So there's 1 and a 1, 1 and 2 and 1, so that's 4 x squared. And I have a 6 minus 1 minus 8, so that's a minus 3 or negative 3. A negative and negative is a negative when you add, so that's negative 9 and 6 makes negative 3. And 5 minus 11 is minus 6 or subtract 6. Now I have to evaluate. And to evaluate means I have to take the negative 2 and sub it in the place of x. And when I sub it in, I put brackets around substituting the negative 2 in the place of x. So there's the bracket. Now I have to do PEMDAS. So I do not work out the inside of these because they're done, but I have to do the exponent first. So negative 2 squared is 4. So I have the exponent done. Remember, P-E-M-D-A-S. I have to do the inside of brackets, but that's done. Now I got to do the exponent, and that's done. So now I have to do multiplication, division, left to right. So that's a multiply, and that's a multiply, and that's a subtract. So I leave that subtract 6 alone. That's a 16. Negative and negative positive. 2 times 3 is 6. Now I have the multiplication, division done. Now I'll do the addition and subtraction. 22. Oh, positive 6, negative 6 is 0, so that's easy. That's a 16. And number 7, find the perimeter of each. Perimeter means add up the sides. Add the sides, the sum of the sides. So that's, watch, I could go, now you're going to add these if you want. Let's go down here and take a shortcut. I'm going to go 7x. I'm adding on to 3x. I'm adding on to 2x because they're descending order. So I got a plus 6, a plus 5, and a plus 8. So now I'm getting fast. Add them up. It's an x, so I get a 10 plus 2 is 12. And 11 and 8 is 19. So that's the fast way. But if you want to write down that one, and then this one, and then this one, you can do that. That's adding them together to get the perimeter. But when you're adding, what happens? You're not changing the signs. So you see I'm not changing the signs. If you took them out of here and wrote them down like that with no brackets because you're adding, then there's the plus sign. You're just adding them up. Now the next step is to group them. So 7x, 3x, 2x, there's the 6, there's the 5, and there's the 8. So really, to go from here right to here is okay. I mean, you know what you're doing. Just be careful. And B, I have to add all these up. So if I want to write them all down through here, or let's take a little shortcut and group them. So to group them, let's take the 4x. Now, if you're adding these up and you didn't want to write them all down, you take the highest powers, which is the squares, and you can go x squared right there. But this is, you got to be careful here. So sometimes people will say, well, because I got so many, let's write them down one at a time. And let's go around in order so I won't miss any. That could be wise. And I'm writing them down in order as I go around. So 4x plus 2, x squared plus 4x, and 2x squared minus x plus 10, and 6x minus 1. So what happens here, this is a sure way of making sure you're okay picking them all up. Now, if I want, I can put it in descending order and pick up. I could put brackets around these if I want and remove the brackets, but when I remove the brackets, they don't change. I'm just adding these up. There they are, all going together with additions between the. And pick up the x squared, descending order. There they are. Remember, I don't change the sign. I'm going to pick up my x's next. So it's a 4x and a 4x and an x and a 6x. So notice when you start here and go left to right, pick up the like terms. There's this 2x squared, see? I just checked myself again. And I picked up my x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. And I pick up my numbers. I got a 2, and I have a 10, and subtract 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have them all. Hopefully I have them right. So there's a 1. That's a 1 plus 2 is 3x squared. And I have 8, subtract 1 is 7, plus 3 is 13. I'm adding the x's. And 12 minus 1 is 11. And I don't need that one. So there's some of these. So again, write them all down is probably wiser. Because you're adding, I could put the brackets around these again, but then I have to do an extra step by removing it. So, and when you're adding, you group your like terms and you put them in descending order, especially when you have all A's or all X's. Okay, that's adding, what they call adding polynomials, grouping like terms, and simplifying. That takes us to the end of this video. And if you like what I'm doing, click on the like button. If you're not a subscriber already, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell because there's more videos coming in your way. Write a comment if you wish, and you may visit my math website, mathfullyexplained.com. Information about in 3 different sections. One is me, degrees and experience. The videos tells you about teaching strategies you're going to use to help you learn your math. And the section on content has the units or the topics they're going to have the videos on, and it gives the number, also states the number of videos in each of those topics. Some topics got 20 videos, some only got 8, and some got just 1. And the black content is what's online right now, and the red content, the red font, the black font is what's online right now, and the red font is what I will have in the near future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.